Well, hello, welcome again to a reading of the Greek New Testament. I'm reading through the book of Revelation. I'm up to chapter 3, verse 7. And this is yet another message, this time to the church at Philadelphia, and it begins again with the same structure. You see that the editor has put this section here indented, presumably because he's thinking of these three lines here as being somewhat perhaps poetic, and perhaps calling to mind parts of the Old Testament, perhaps a sort of hymnic quality about them. Anyway, so I'll leave the commentators to discuss these matters. I'm just going to read it through. So, kai to angelo tes en Philadelphia, ecclesias grapson. And write to the angel of the church in Philadelphia. Slightly different, well, similar structure in fact to what we've had before. And now we get tari lege ho hagios ho elethinos. So the Holy One, the True One, says tari these things. And now we have this slightly poetic section which probably picks up various passages out of the Old Testament, especially from Isaiah and perhaps Job. Ho ekon ten klein David, ho enoigon kai udes klese kai kleon kai udes enoige. The one having the klein, now this is the third declension noun, klase is the nominative, it means the key. So the one having the key of David, this will be a genitive here but it doesn't decline. Ho enoigon, participle, the one who opens, the one opening, and no one klase. Well, this is from klio, to shut, this is the future. So the one opening and no one will shut it, and here we get the participle from klio, and the one shutting it and no one opens. Udes enoige, from enoigo, to open, which is a compound verb, but it's one we'll see that funny things happen to. Oidesu ta erga, I know your works. Idu dedoka enopion su thuran aniogmenein. Hein udes dunatai klese autain. So, I know your works. Now, idu is this behold. Now this is a funny line here. So behold, I have given, yes, I have given before you. It's almost I have placed before you, but it is from perfect from didomi. I have given before you thuran aniogmenein, a door having been opened. So we'd say an open door. This is a very strange form. This is from anoigo, which is a compound. There was an old verb, oignumi, I think, or oignemi, an old verb meaning to open, which only occurs in early poetry, but then later on you get anoigo, which is a compound to open up. But the verb gets mishandled back even in classical Greek. Now here, although the ana is a preposition, the alpha's been augmented. But then the oig has also been augmented. And then for good measure they've added another epsilon here as a triple augment. So this is actually a perfect passive participle from anoigo, which has been triple augmented. Now, before one finds fault with later Greek handling of this verb, similar things happened to this even back in Xenophon, and so this verb had been messed around with quite a bit, and you'll see this form very commonly in the Septuagint as well. So it is from anoigo, but it's been triply augmented. It's a perfect passive participle. So behold, I have given before you, perhaps I have placed before you an open door, which, so that's referring back to the thura, no one is able, klesai, to shut, This is the aorist infinitive from Cleo. And then we get an outain, which is redundant. And this is a Hebraism. You see this commonly in Mark's Gospel and elsewhere in the New Testament. It's a Hebraism. In Hebrew, the relative pronoun doesn't decline. So it's just a share, and it just means which. And you have to put something equivalent to outain in the Hebrew to pin down what it's referring back to. So in the Greek, this outain is redundant. This is just a Hebraism. So we would say, which no one is able to shut. The it is redundant. Hoti mikran ekes dunamin kai et tereses mu ton logon kai uk erineso to onoma mu. Because you have little power and you have kept my word, and now this is the second person. This is the aorist from aneomai. It's second person, epsilon contract verb, but it's in the middle. This is the second person in middle form. And so you have not denied my name. So he says, because you have little, although you, it's almost concessive, although you have little power, also you have kept my word, and you have not denied my name. Idu dido ek te synagoges tu satana ton legonton hiatus iudaius enai kai ugesin alapsudontai. This is a very odd sentence for a couple of reasons. One, it begins with this idu dido. This is another Hebraism. So it's clear the writer of this work perhaps had Greek as a second language. He's using Hebraisms quite a bit through this whole work. So idu dido, it means something like, I will bring it about that. It's literally, behold, I am granting, I am giving. Now the other bit which makes it difficult is the sentence itself is not completed. He goes off onto some other track and stops the sentence. The thought, however, is then continued on in the next sentence. So just to translate what's here, idu dido, behold, I am bringing it about that from the synagogue of Satan, of those saying themselves to be Jews, perhaps Judeans or Jews, and they are not, but they lie. So the sentence doesn't really, as it stands, make sense, because he doesn't finish it off properly. He finishes off in the next bit. So idu poiesai autus hina hexusi kai proskunesu sianopion ton podon su kai gnosin hoti ego agapesase. So he continues on, behold, I will make them, that's the people he's been referring to, and then we get this hina, that they will come. So in other words, it's something like, it's poio plus this hina. It's a funny construction again. It's probably also a Hebraism. So behold, it's something like, I will cause that they will come, future from Heiko, and they will worship, future from proskuneo, before your feet. Kai gnosin, this is an aorist subjunctive, and it's after this hina that we had up here. So the kai's, Hebrew connects things with lots of wuts, lots of ands, and this gets copied in the Greek as well. So it's ordered that perhaps also they might know that I have loved you. This is from agapao. So just to put that bit together, so idu dido, I will bring it about that from the synagogue of Satan, perhaps among those who are saying themselves to be Jews but are not, but are lying, behold, I will make them, or I will cause them, perhaps take this as like an infinitive, or take the hina as that. I will cause them that they will come and they will worship before your feet, and in order that they might know that I loved you. So rather odd, strange Greek here, probably affected by Hebraic thought. Hoti teresas ton logon tes hypomones mu, cargo se tereso ectes hores tu peres mu tes meluses ekestai epites oikomenes holes perasai tus kat oikuntas epites geis. Hoti, probably here because, this is from Terio, the aorist, you have kept my word, or sorry, you have kept the word literally of my steadfastness. So perhaps it's not clear what the mu is here, whether it's your steadfastness in regard to me or my steadfastness in regard to you. Probably the former, I think. So, because you have kept the word of my steadfastness, cargo for kaiego, I also will keep you, ek tes hores, from the hour of testing, perasmos. And then agreeing with hora, which is feminine, we get this participle here, the hour which is being about to come. So the hour which is about to come, epites oikumenes, holes. Upon the whole, this is from holos, the oikumene is the inhabited world. It's really originally a passive participle from oikio, that which is dwelt in, and so it comes to mean, the oikumene comes to be a technical term for the whole of the inhabited world. So I also will keep you from the hour of testing which is about to come upon all of the inhabited world. Peirasai, from Razdo, could be from Peirasdo, I think. So to put to the test those katoi kuntas, those dwelling epites, geas, upon the earth. Erkamai taku, now this is a neuter from takus, third declension adjective, so being used adverbially. So I am coming quickly. Krate hot ekes. Now again, this is, you can see from the accent, this is an imperative here. It's krat e from kratio, although the accent would be the same if it were nominative. No, it wouldn't, so it would contract, I think. So anyway, this is an imperative, so hold on to that which you have. Hina medes, in order that no one, now it's may because we've got subjunctive here, that's the only reason it's medes for not udes, in order that no one labe, subjunctive from lambano, no one may take your crown. Honike poieso auton stulon interna otuthiumu, kai exo ume exelthe eti kai grapso ebauton to onoma to theumu, kai to onoma tes polios to theumu, tes kaines hierusolem, he katabainus iek to uranu apot to theumu, kai to onomamu to kainon. A long sentence there, a long verse. The one prevailing, from had this before, from Nikao, I will make him. Now it's a funny change of subject here. We normally expect an accusative after this verb. It's I will make. So the grammar here is slightly odd. So we'd have to, in English, we'd have to sort of put a comma here. So the one who prevails, comma, I will make him stulon, a pillar. This is from, yes, I will make him to be a pillar in the temple of my God. Kai exo ume exelthe, and he will in no way go out We get exo repeated here. So out, he will never go out, literally. Eti anymore. Kai grapso, and I will write ep auton upon him, I think for epi here, to onomatu theoumu, the name of my God. Kai to onomates polios to theoumu, and the name of the city, this is the genitive from polis, third declension, feminine noun, from the city of my God, and an apposition to polios, which is feminine, is tes kines, the new, and then Jerusalem. And oddly enough, we get a change back from, you'd expect this to be in the genitive, but he's gone back to the nominative again. So again, the grammar in Revelation is slightly odd. Anyway, so it's from the New Jerusalem, and then we get back in the nominative, the one descending. So it would have been better if he'd perhaps written which is descending, but he just goes back and puts it back in the nominative with a participle, the one descending from katabino. Anabinos to go up, katabinos to go down. So descending from the heaven, from my God, kai to onomamu tokainon, and my name, the new one. So just to quickly do that verse. So the one prevailing, I will make him to be a pillar in the temple. This is the naos, the shrine. This is the holiest part of the temple of my God. You get hieron for temple, and naos is the inner shrine. And in no way will he go out again. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, the one descending from the heaven, from my God, and my name, and my new name. So I think this is after the I will write upon him. So I'll write upon him the name of God, and I will write upon him my new name. Ho ekon us, so the usual closing off of the message. Ho ekon us akusato ti top pneuma lege tais ecclesiais. The one having an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. And that was the end of that particular message to that group.